Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our MISAT Bulletin, and we shall start with our headlines. 24 killed in train derailment after heavy rains in Turkey. UK says Brexit plan on track despite resignation. And moving on to our details, starting with Ankara. A passenger train derailed in northwestern Turkey, killing 2,000 people and injuring more than 300 others. Investigators believe that heavy rains caused the ground under the rails to collapse, causing Sunday's crash, according to what Deputy Prime Minister said on Monday. The train was heading to Istanbul from Idrin on the border with Greece, with 362 passengers and 6 crew members on board when 5 of its 6 cars derailed. The health minister said 318 were injured. Meanwhile, a media ban issued on Sunday by the government, citing national security and public order, was lifted on Monday. On the other side of the world, British Prime Minister Theresa May's office insists the government's plans for leaving the European Union are on track despite the resignation of the top official in the Brexit department. David Davis resigned as Brexit Secretary late Sunday, saying he couldn't support proposals to maintain close trade and regulatory ties with the EU. Meanwhile, Davis was replaced on Monday with Dominic Raab. May's official spokesman said, "We need to move forward at pace in these negotiations, and that's what we are going to do." He added that there is now a new Secretary of State and we look forward to moving on. On another side, rescuers were researching for dozens still missing on Monday after heavy rains and mudslides thrashed southern Japan. Rivers overflowed, turning towns into lakes, leaving dozens of people stranded on rooftops. Military paddle boats and helicopters have brought people to the ground. Thousands of homes were without clean water and electricity in Hiroshima and other hard-hit areas. Chief Cabinet Secretary said on Monday that 90 people were confirmed dead. Moreover, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe cancelled his planned trip to Europe and the Middle East to oversee the emergency response to deadly heavy rains. He earlier Monday said the government has expanded the search and rescue effort, dispatching 73,000 troops and emergency workers. In relation to the context, Pope Francis is praying for the victims of Japan's flooding and is encouraging civil authorities involved in search and rescue operations. The Pope sent a note of condolences to Catholic Church authorities on Monday, saying he was deeply saddened to learn of the loss of life. At least 100 people are believed to have died and another 80 people are unaccounted for after heavy rains and mudslides thrashed southern Japan. In the message, Pope Francis expressed his solidarity with all those affected, offered his encouragement to rescue crews, and said he was praying for the dead and injured and the consolation of all those who grieve. In Thailand, 4 ambulances on Monday left the area around the flooded cave in northern Thailand where the members of a youth soccer team have been trapped for more than 2 weeks. On Sunday, when the high-risk rescue operation to rescue the 12 boys and their coach began, teams of divers brought out 4 of the boys, but waited several hours before confirming their safe rescue. Moreover, an official had said earlier Monday that the second phase began at 11 a.m. and authorities hope to hear good news in the next few hours. As of Monday morning, 9 people remained trapped in the cave, including the team's coach. And away from politics, Hans-Ganser Winkler, a German show jumping great who won 5 Olympic gold medals, has died at the age of 91. The German Equestrian Federation confirmed Winkler died early Monday in the western town of Warendorf. After taking gold at the 1954 and 1955 World Championships, Winkler and his mare Hela cemented their fame with a memorable performance at the 1956 Olympic equestrian events in Stockholm. Despite intense pain from a pulled muscle, Winkler remained in the saddle and Hiller carried him to a flawless second round, ensuring the first Olympic gold. 4 more followed as well as a silver and bronze before Winkler retired in 1986. And finally, our economic news. Global stock markets mostly rose on Monday as the British government appeared to turn toward a more trade-friendly version of Brexit and as investors monitored the escalating trade standoff between the US and China. France CAC 40 rose 0.5% to 5,402, while Germany's DAX added 0.2% to 12,520. Britain's FTSE 100 was also higher at 7,646, up 0.4%. US shares were also set for gains with Dow futures up 0.5% and S&P 500 futures gaining 0.4%. In Asia, Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 added 1.2% to finish at 52.18, while the Shanghai Composite Index jumped to 2.5% to 815.11. And before ending our news, let's take another look at the most important headlines for today. 24 killed in train derailment after heavy rains in Turkey. UK says Brexit plan on track despite resignation. And we reached the end of our news bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us and see you tomorrow in a new bulletin.